I 28 male just keylogged my girlfriend's 24 female computer literally 5 minutes ago and discovered she's been cheating on me. If you were in my shoes, how would you confront her? Hey, our relationships. I am a Reddit newbie who frequently hangs out in our game deals. Tay and Tarwebs isn't really a place I'd like to turn to for relationship advice, but I can't really talk to my friends about this just yet, so here I am. My girlfriend 24 female and I 28 male have been in a relationship for over 6 years, but it's not exactly what I'd call an emotionally satisfying relationship. I've caught her cheating with her ex-BF many times over in the first 3 years of our relationship, but I've let those slide because I thought she was a great girl, didn't want to lose her, another issue worth its own, our relationship's thread in and of itself. But I digress. At any rate, fast forward 3 years later. We've had hiccups, but at the very least I was happy to think that her ex-BF was complete a thing of the past and I had finally gotten over some of the trust issues I had in the first 3 years of our relationship. My girlfriend was quite the anti-gamer back in the day, so you can imagine my surprise and delight when she finally asked me to teach her how to play a particular RTS title I played back in the early 2000s. We'd play well into the night most days, but because of the game's age I eventually got sick of it and went on to other titles. My girlfriend, on the other hand, still plays to this day and has made lots of friends, particularly in Europe. Which would have been fine and dandy. I have no problem with her making friends on the internet and finding a hobby to pour her spare time into. After all, she's been unemployed for over 4 years and has seemingly lost all interest in finding a job, another issue that deserves its own thread. But then I come home early from work one day and discover one of her clan mates calling her babe and sending her kiss emoticons. I confront her about it, and she assured me that it's all a one-way street with this guy, and she has no intention of pursuing anything him because he's from a poor Eastern European country and is not as rich as you, her words. Huge red flag. But I again digress. Then came the increasingly odd and secretive behavior on her part. Whereas she used to share memes and content she'd find on the internet with me on a regular basis, she now keeps half her window hidden from view, and has even gone to the extent of purchasing a chair with a high backrest that makes it impossible to take cursory glances at her screen. So I wrote a keylogger, planted it on her PC 2 months ago, and promptly forgot all about it. That is, until a recent episode 2 days that once again flared my suspicions. I just finishing scouring the logs literally 5 minutes ago and discovered she's had CamX with this guy once in the last few months. I also discovered several instances where they had ChatX but she refused to turn on her cam because her brother is at the computer behind her. Because of conflicting schedules and time zones issues, we're in Asia. Clan is in Eastern Europe, however. They have not had the opportunity for a repeat performance and have slowly drifted apart in the last few weeks, but she now has 2 more potential replacements in the pipes. I've also discovered that she has edited me out of her life as far as her real online profiles are concerned. Her official profiles show the typical info in a relationship with me, etc., etc., but her real online profiles show no trace of a boyfriend, and contain references to the brother she shares her apartment with. Note that we've been living together for about as long as we've been together. Needless to say, I am shocked and angry. I don't want to lose her, but I am rather sick of constantly having to compete with someone else for her affection. Plus, I technically violated her privacy, which I am sure is something she will likely bring up in a fit of outrage. Mind you, if and when I do decide to confront her. How would you confront her if you were in my shoes? Can anyone give me any advice? Is a relationship like mine worth saving? Or should I bolt out the exit? My brain sort of already knows the answer to that last question, but I guess I am looking for a little push. I've spent 6 years on this relationship after all. I feel like we've been through a lot and wouldn't want it all to go to waste. But somehow I feel like I am the only one pulling my weight in this relationship and am starting to wonder where this is all heading. Too long didn't read. I keylogged my girlfriend of 6 years and discovered she's lied to my face and had CamX with her Russian clan mates. Do you think this relationship is worth saving? If not, how should I confront her considering that I violated her privacy? Edit. Thanks for your input. She's leaving for the weekend with her family. I've decided to text her over the weekend to let her know the jig is up. We'll update when it happens. Nobody really needs to say anything here, read your own post. If you can't see how gone it sounds, then nobody will be able to tell you differently. Read your own post. If you can't see how gone it sounds, then nobody will be able to tell you differently. I have the logical part of my brain tells me this relationship probably isn't worth salvaging. It's the emotional part that needs advice. Every time I lift the phone across my desk to let her know that the jig is up, I just can't help but remember all the good times we've had. And somehow, there's a part of me that doesn't want to believe that those memories are never coming back. Insert scumbag brain meme here. Dodged a bullet. Don't even confront or get angry. Thank her for saving you from wasting any more time and get the duck out. Start no contact immediately and do not try to be friends. Second story. I 24 male think my girlfriend 23 female might be trying to secretly get pregnant. Okay, The first thing I should state is that I greatly care for this girl and can imagine myself having a future with her. I really enjoy being with her. We've been together for a little over a year, and I am certain that she feels the same way. I should also note that we have, up until recently, never really had any major issues, fights in our relationship. For these reasons, we have been talking a lot lately about the future marriage, kids, etc., and where we see ourselves over the next few years. However, while she feels we are ready to settle down, I want to wait a little longer so that we can enjoy our youth for a few more years. This has caused some disagreement between us and did cause her to express concern over having to wait too long. But I thought that this was nothing major and told her to wait just a few more years, 2-3. As for why I think she may be trying to get pregnant, all I can say is that her behavior has been strange over the last 2 months. First, I should note that, over the course of our relationship, we both have agreed that I would either use condoms or pull out, since she sometimes fails to remember to take her birth control. But she recently told me that I could start finishing inside her because she was going to do better about remembering to take her pills. This caught me by surprise, and I told her that I was okay with continuing on the way things were, which seemed to upset her a bit. She didn't really get mad, but she seemed really insistent on me finishing inside her and promised me that it would feel a lot better. At this point I had no reason to not believe her sincerity. So I did it a few times but then told her that I just wasn't entirely comfortable because I knew she had been forgetful in the past. This comment, for whatever reason, seemed to hurt her. So I suggested that maybe she look into an IUD as a possible solution to our dilemma. She responded by saying that she would rather stay on the pill and that I needed to just relax and enjoy the feeling. One more thing I should note is that I have noticed she almost will no longer stimulate me to orgasm unless it's, which she claims is because she doesn't want to tire me out and wants my best. However, this has never been an issue before and is another recent development which doesn't make sense. At first I thought this behavior was a little strange, but no big deal, right? However, I finally started to get a little suspicious when she started actively questioning what I would do if she got pregnant, and by actively questioning I mean that she brought it up constantly. I told her that we would discuss that if it happened and that we should consider all options in such a situation. This caused a fight between us where she ended up crying and saying that I didn't care about her and that I was being selfish by refusing to discuss our future, that is specifically state what I would do if she got pregnant. But we again talked things over and I apologized. Although I am still not sure what I did wrong. Things seemed to get better from there, but I did notice that she was and still is talking a lot about babies and children, especially considering that we had discussed children only a handful of times before the last 2 months. Specifically, though, she has been talking them up, if you will. That is, she has been talking about how fun it would be to have a baby and how cute they are. And she also started saying repeatedly that I would make a great dad. My only response to this has been to remind her that I would love to have children, but just not right now, to which she has consistently responded by saying something like sometimes fate has a different plan for us and that we have to be flexible. However, what finally led me to believe that she was purposefully trying to get pregnant was when she started offering to buy my condoms. This was really unusual, as I have always bought them myself throughout our relationship and before that. When I asked her why the sudden urge to do this, she said that it was because it was convenient and something that all girlfriends do. I tried to press the issue further, but she ended the conversation by saying that she just wanted to take care of me. As of now, she hasn't bought any for me and I have no proof that she could be poking holes in the condoms, but I feel really uneasy. I don't want to hurt her by refusing to have sex with her, but I also don't want to have a baby now. This isn't helped by the fact that she still wants me to finish in her when we have sex. In fact, it has gotten to the point where I feel bad if I don't comply, even though I feel I shouldn't give in to her, because I want so badly to trust her. I think I really would be devastated if I found out that she has been trying to trick me into getting her pregnant. Anyway, am I being paranoid about my girlfriend trying to get pregnant? Or do I have cause to be concerned? Also, how should I proceed and confront her about my concerns? Too long didn't read. My girlfriend's behavior has been really strange lately, which has led me to believe that she might be trying to secretly get pregnant. Edit. Thanks to all of you for your advice. It has really made me think about my relationship with my girlfriend and also led me to the realization that I need to talk with her about my concerns. So I plan on talking to her tomorrow. I want to give her the chance to tell me if I did or said something to make her think that I didn't want her in my future and possibly talk about why she has been so concerned with babies lately. I am hoping that maybe this is just a phase or that I am just being paranoid. But if that isn't the case, I am not sure what I will do. I would hate to break up with her because I do care for her, but I also know that neither one of us is ready to have a baby. I will update after the conversation. Update. Anyway, so, as I told you guys, I had a conversation with my girlfriend last night about some of her recent behavior, wanting me to finish inside her, offering to buy condoms for me, talking excessively about babies and the like, etc. And also about the concern she was trying to get pregnant that I was having about these things and our relationship. And it did not go very well, to say the least. I started off by telling her that I felt like we had been having problems communicating lately, and maybe this had led us to have a misunderstanding about where we felt we were going. I then told her that I felt like maybe in our conversations about our future together I had made her think that my unwillingness to settle down was a sign I was still looking around or didn't want to commit to her, when it really was just my belief that we should use this time to grow closer and work on our relationship. However, I let her know that I wanted to marry her and have a family with her, but that I just didn't feel ready for those things yet. I didn't want to be hostile, so I first tried to reassure her of my commitment to her before I confronted her about trying to possibly get pregnant in secret. This is the point where our conversation started to go badly. I then questioned her about why she had been so concerned lately with babies. Was it because several people we know have just recently gotten pregnant or had babies? Or was there something else that had caused this development? She became defensive at first, saying that all girls think about babies a lot. But I eventually got her to admit that these pregnancies had made her think more about having a child and realize how badly she wanted one now. I told her that I understood how powerful this urge was, but that I felt very strongly neither of us was ready to have a child and that we should wait, which was where things really got bad. She said something like, "We love each other, so would it be so terrible if we have a baby now since we plan to someday?" I told her that the timing wasn't right and that I was becoming increasingly concerned that maybe she wasn't trying as hard not to get pregnant, and brought up some of the reasons why. See previous post. I said that I had talked about this with some other people, you guys, and that they, too, thought it seemed like she might almost be trying to get pregnant. Here, she started crying and said that I was being selfish and wouldn't even consider having a baby now. She then said that she loved me and wanted my baby and felt like I was scared and had no legitimate reasons for waiting. So she admitted to taking matters into her own hands in order to give me the push I needed to marry her and start a family. This is the point in the conversation where she told me that I may not have a choice in waiting to have a baby, and then said she was pregnant. I think she told me she was around 6 weeks, but I was so angry, hurt, shocked that I don't remember. I asked her if she knew for sure, and she said that she has been to her OB/GYN to confirm it and didn't tell me because she wanted to see how I would react to the idea. I think at this point we both were in tears. I accused her of manipulating me and deceiving me, and she told me that this baby was the best thing for us. She then went and got the ultrasound photo or something and tried to show it to me, but I told her I need to think, which led her to hug me and say that what's done is done and that there was no point in me trying to fight it, as she was not going to get an abortion. I left after that and haven't talked to her since. I don't know if there's anything I can do at this point, but if she has the baby, I will be the best dad I can be. As for our relationship, I can't imagine that I could ever be with her again given that she broke my trust. I suppose the moral of the story is to always wear condoms and never take for granted that a girl is using her birth control, no matter how much you trust her. Too long didn't read I, though my girlfriend was secretly trying to get pregnant, and it turns out she was and is now pregnant. Edit. I can't thank you guys enough for all the advice, information, and support that you all have given me. I feel much more confident about making decisions going forward. For the record, I intend to contact an attorney today, June 12th, just in case she is pregnant. And I then plan to call her and insist she take a home pregnancy test, but I will also contact her doctor's office to also confirm whether or not she is pregnant and make sure she understands that we have no future together. We'll see what happens from there. You need additional proof. Home pregnancy tests are very accurate these days. Go to the store and buy one. At 6 weeks there is almost no chance that you will get a false negative or positive. My wife just got pregnant and she got a positive pregnancy result 8 days after conception. At 6 weeks you can get the info you need easily. Get that home pregnancy test and go to her place. Let her know you are coming to talk and give her the test and ask her to show you the positive result. Remove the possibility that she is lying so you have a clear understanding of what you need to for the future. Don't get into any arguments. You are there for the test results and nothing else. Get the results. Forget about the drama right now. You need results to understand what you do next. She's so ducking crazy to get pregnant. And that means she's also crazy enough to lie. The ultrasound line she gave is a bit unusual. It sounds a bit fake too. It sounds like she may be lying about the pregnancy. I am sorry that our relationship has to end because I really did love you and saw a future with you. I was mistaken. You have violated my trust in the most horrendous manner. You made this decision, drastically changing 3 lives, on your own and in secret. The selfishness and lack of foresight you've demonstrated are fatal flaws for a parent. The lack of communication and betrayal are fatal flaws for a partner. I am sorry you are not the person I fell in love with. Third story. My girlfriend always pretends she is dead. Hey Reddit. I was hoping to get some advice about a problem I've been having with my so. First off, we are both 22 MF, finishing our last year of college. We've been together almost 6 months, and I really do adore her. Aside from this one kind of weird behavioral trait, We have very similar interests, share many mutual friends, and get along on a day-to-day basis quite well. The problem is that every few weeks, she gets it into her head that I don't appreciate her enough. I'll think everything is going well, and then out of the blue, she'll accuse me of taking her for granted. I really don't think this is the case, as I go out of my way to compliment her and say I love you almost every day. Anyways, when this happens, she'll demand that we do this couple building activity where she pretends she is dead. She'll light some candles, play Amazing Grace, the song they played at my grandfather's funeral a few years back, lay in bed, and cover herself with a sheet. Then I am supposed to kneel down and say some last words to her. She gets pissed if I don't cry, sometimes withholding X as punishment. I've always known that she has some self-esteem issues, but this seems a little much. I've tried talking to her about it, but she just gets defensive and says that this activity is necessary for me to grow emotionally and our relationship to grow stronger. I really don't know what to do. I don't want to lose her, but I can't keep mourning her death every few weeks. So tell me, Reddit, does this sound like normal behavior? How can I show her that I appreciate her without doing this activity? Too long didn't read. My girlfriend doesn't think that I appreciate her enough. So every few weeks she makes us do a couple building activity where she pretends to be dead while I give her eulogy. Hit like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing to our channel.